Well, hello and welcome to episode 94 of Drink the Movies. I'm Brian here as always with Michaela. Michaela, we covered some pretty heavy movies in the last couple of weeks. We talked about Terminator 2, we talked about the dystopian future of Blade Runner, and today we have another dystopian treat for everyone. No, just kidding. We have something very lighthearted, something very fun. It's full of hugs and singing, and that is Trolls. But before we get into Trolls and getting our cocktail going for the week, what have you been up to, Michaela? Watching anything good? Are you able to catch that all the Emmy shows before the Emmys came on, or what have you been up to?
Yeah, so I think I have. I'm really excited to watch them tonight. I'm not really into the Emmys because obviously I don't really watch a lot of TV. Well, I didn't think I watched a lot of TV, but apparently I have great opinions about the Emmys. So I'm really excited. I finished Severance, which is up for a bunch of stuff. I'm really excited. I hope that show does well.
Hmm.
I watched some Dope Sick, obviously. There's so many good shows that were out this year that did really well. And what are your thoughts? Do you have a favorite that you're pining for?
Yeah, well, so by the time this comes out, the Emmys will have already happened, so everyone will know. But yeah, kind of pulling, Better Call Saul, Ozark, Severance, Succession, all those a bunch of just really really good dramas this year. So kudos to whoever won, and keep an eye. We'll probably do a little bit of a short recap next week on the lobby bar. But yeah, kind of just crushing through these TV shows as we talked a little bit about on the lobby bar, not quite into like Oscar movie time yet. So hopefully going to get out to see The Woman King here maybe this week or next week when that's out. And after the Emmys end, we can kind of turn our attention to what's going to be coming out in terms of the Oscars. So it's going to be a lot of buckling down and a lot of serious films, probably a lot of like 3 hour films again, if the last couple of years have been in any indication. So I think it's important to do things, like take a step back, go to something a little more lighthearted, something a little shorter, something animated with lots of singing and dancing and just a jolly good time for all. So why don't we take a quick break and we will be right back to whip up this week's dual cocktail. We have two cocktails for our two favorite trolls. So hang on tight and we will be right back.
So this week's cocktail is sugary and sweet and bright. It makes you want to dance and sing and hug and sing and dance and hug and sing and hug and sing and dance and hug and sing until the end of time.
Until the end of time, or until I put Michaela on mute. Calm down over there, is what I say, as a Branch might say, my favorite troll of all time. So this week we have two cocktails coming at you, as I mentioned, and these are coming from momspark.net, and they are very troll themed. They look like trolls. They're sugary and syrupy, like something that a troll might have, probably. I don't know what trolls eat. I don't know if we ever really got into that too much. We know that some people eat trolls, but we drank trolls this week, Michaela.
We sure did. We were like the best Bergens ever. Unfortunately,
That's right. We
this
were
one,
already happy. We were happy before, and then we were
there
extra
you
happy, I
go.
guess.
Yeah, well, but you weren't, Brian, because you're not a big fan of shots. But
True.
you did think that they were cute. These are really, really. I mean, we've done some really pretty drinks. This is just cuteness overload because of the colors. Everything is cotton candy pink or blue. It's just an overload on the senses. So we're gonna build these out. And it calls for some ingredients that Brian was really happy that up until now he never had to buy,
Yeah.
and which are all of the sweet vodka that you could possibly get. So we're going to do 1.5 ounces of white cake vodka.
Hmm.
And then I don't know what we're going to do with all the extra vodka, cake vodka we have, because I don't know what to add to this to make it taste good. But you've got 1.5 ounces of cake vodka, an ounce of whipped cream vodka. I mean, that's a thing. That's a
Hmm.
thing now.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then as if that's not sweet enough, you need 2 ounces of French vanilla creamer. We used International Delight because that's how we roll. And then you're going to need some pink and blue cotton candy. You're going to need a cup of ice. Then you're going to need some blue curacao and grenadine to color the drinks. And then if you really want to go into some sort of anaphylactic shock, you can do some corn syrup and hot pink or hot blue sprinkles for the rim
Mm.
of your shot glass.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, absolutely. So, all those amounts that Michaela just gave you, that is good enough to make two of these little shots. So that's good. So you're basically going to put the vodkas, the creamer, the ice into a shaker. You're going to shake that up and then you're going to strain it into your shot glasses that you have adorned with those sprinkles if you feel so inclined to do that. Now, the actual recipe from momspark.net said to dip those into some corn syrup, which seemed a little excessive to us. And we are fans of the sugar, Michaela, but corn syrup
Woo!
lined rims seemed a little bit too much. So we just used a little bit of simple syrup, which seemed to work perfect for the sprinkles that we had. So you put that in a shaker tin, shake it up, strain it into those shot glasses, and then you just put a drop or two of the blue curacao in one, a drop or two of the grenadine into the other. Give it a little stir with like a toothpick or like the handle of like a spoon or something like that, just to make it real nice and blue or pink. And then you're going to put some cotton candy on it because what is a troll without their sweet troll hair? And you're going to look at it and you're going to say, "Oh, that is adorable." But I could be happier. I'm going to eat it or drink it down the hatch, and yeah. Then you go into
Yeah.
some sort of sugar coma and pass out. That's
Or
what you
you're
do.
going to
That's
be
what I
like
did.
me and you're going to be like, you're going to start breaking out into song. It's going to be amazing. I have to say, I was expecting more. I was hoping this would taste a little bit better when I
Hmm.
did it. I know
Yeah.
you're not a shot person, so your expectations were probably real low, and so you actually didn't seem to hate this nearly as much as I thought you were going to. Um, but I was really hoping that it would taste a little bit different, and I don't really know if it's because I didn't like the way the French vanilla creamer
Hmm.
mixed with the vodka because it was creamy enough, but it was almost too creamy. And this is a whole shot. And so you have to do it, you shoot it really quickly. You're supposed to drink it fast. I
Hmm.
think I might have liked um, making this into like a shot and a half, like a shot and a half that would have been in a different glass. It would not have looked as cute, but it probably would have been tastier because I would have been able to
Hmm.
savor it a little bit more. I don't
Yeah.
know. Full disclosure, we drank a few of these. I really was trying to put my finger on what I wanted more out of this. I think
Hmm.
maybe I wanted more of a vanilla or a whipped cream or a cake flavor. I wanted one of those to shine through. And really all I got was a bunch of sugar.
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty sweet. So I wonder if I was going to do something in this realm again. I'm not going to do these shots again probably, but if I was going to do something in this realm again, I would do maybe that same like flavored vodka, but instead of the French vanilla creamer, I would just do like a heavy cream or like a half and half and turn it into like a White Russian kind of a thing. Maybe that would be a little bit better because you could still do your blue curacao or grenadine to get your drink to be that pink or the blue color. But yeah, I don't know. These weren't terrible. They weren't great, but they were very sugary, which reminds me a lot of the film we're going to be talking about today, Trolls. So why don't we take a quick break and we will be right back to dive into this animated gem of a musical journey.
Spoiler warning for Trolls. If you've not yet seen Trolls, you should do it because it's a fun cacophony of music and song and weird dance moves and color and
Mm,
scrapbooking. And
yes.
we also made really cool cocktails that look like cute little trolls. So you should go make those. You should go watch Trolls. If you don't want to know what happens at the end of Trolls, then stop now because we're going to talk about all the things. Mostly, we're going to talk about how amazing Anna Kendrick is and Justin Timberlake. But
Mm.
yeah, that's our spoiler warning. You have been warned.
Yeah, and here's spoiler warning that Michaela's probably going to keep singing through the rest of the episode. So, with that in mind, we have Trolls that came out in 2016 by DreamWorks Animation. It was directed by Mike Mitchell and Walt Dorn, and it stars Anna Kendrick as Princess Poppy and Justin Timberlake as Branch, our two favorite trolls in the whole world. Then there's a whole slew of other stars involved in this thing, and we'll mention on those as we get through this. But Michaela, Trolls 2016 nominated for an Academy Award.
Sure, it was. I mean, when I first said, "Hey, we should do Trolls," you gave me the classic Branch look, which was like, "Oh my God, are you serious? I don't want to watch this movie." But Oscar nominated, of course, as all of the movies that we bring to the masses, we have discerning taste, and I'm one of we. So
No, yes,
Yeah.
yes, that's right. We have some sort of taste here, and like I said, nominated for an Oscar for Best Original Song. "Can't Stop the Feeling" by Justin Timberlake, who's performing it in the movie. He actually was also the musical director for the movie Trolls. So good on you for that, Justin Timberlake. It did not win. I did not look up to see what did win. I should have done that, but that's okay. That's okay. All the moral of the story here is that there's a lot of good singing and a lot of good dancing in this thing. So Trolls, Michaela, Trolls is a
Oh,
movie. Let's get into it a little bit here. It starts out, it's a little bit morbid, I have to say. You're getting like this little storybook thing. It's in like this felt kind of scrapbook. I actually really like the way that it looks here at the start when it's kind of talking about these big meanie heads called the Bergens. They're there, they're sad all the time for some reason. They're just grumpy all the time. But there is one thing that makes them happy, which is really morbid in a children's cartoon, and that is that they eat the main characters of your film, like literally eat them. Not a good look, but you eat a troll, makes you happy. You get one day of happiness for the year, I guess, or one day in your whole life. I don't know exactly what the ratio of
it's like
happiness to
Christmas.
troll
It's once
eating.
a year.
Once
It's
a year, it is.
Trollstice and it happens once a year. It's
It,
important.
it
Only it's
happens
like our Christmas, except we don't eat the well, we eat things. I don't know. Maybe
instead of
it's
eating a
symbolic.
candy cane, instead of eating a candy cane, you eat a troll. And that is exactly what Prince Gristle is going to be doing. He is out there. It is his first trollstice to eat a troll. They have saved for him the most special, most happiest, most joy-giving troll of them all, Princess Poppy. They pull it down out of the tree, but uh-oh, shocker, not Princess Poppy. It is a wooden little troll doll. It looks exactly like the old little troll dolls because the trolls have made a break for it.
That's right. So King Preppy, he is, or Peppy, sorry, King Peppy. He
Peppy.
is, sorry, not Preppy. He doesn't look preppy because he's taken off all of his clothes as they are like, no troll left behind. They have dug
Mm, mhm.
a hole and they've dug a tunnel underneath the city. They're making a run for it. They're leaving their beloved troll tree behind in Bergen Town, and they're going to go out into the vast forest. And that works. It's amazing. At this point, they're saving little Princess Poppy. She's like this little cute little baby looking troll. She's like a speck of pink, and she's like, no troll left behind, and it's really cute. And that was the troll that was going to be given to Prince Grizzle on his first trollstice, and now that's not happening. And so, of course, I love the scene where the poor prince crawls into his dad's lap, and he's like, "Am I ever going to be happy?" And of course, the dad is like, "No, you're never going to be happy, ever, ever, ever." And as a parent, we rue the day when we have to have this conversation where we just know that the news that we're giving to our kid is not going to be good news. But the comedic kind of take they have on it is pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty good. And the king is played by John Cleese, and so it's very dry. But yeah, he's like, nope, never going to be happy.
Never going to be
This is all
happy.
that there is,
Um,
which is pretty great.
yeah. But King Gristle, King Gristle Senior, he's really mad that the chef has let all of the trolls disappear and escape, and so they run that chef, who's played by the amazing Christine Baranski. She's
Hmm.
awesome.
Hmm.
They lead her out and they ban her from Bergen Town forever. And they're like, "Come back when you got some trolls." And she's so mad. She's mostly mad because she is probably an underpaid, unappreciated worker. So we should all take note there. But she's decided she's going to make it her life's work to go find the trolls. Meanwhile, the trolls, they find a place. They find this amazing, colorful kind of oasis in the middle of this forest, and they
Hmm.
decide that because it's got sweet acoustics, they can sing and dance and hug and do all the amazing things that they used to do in the troll tree. They can do it
Uh,
outside, away from the Bergens, and they're all safe and sound.
that's right. Yeah. So King Peppy steps up onto this mushroom. He doth do declare that this place is excellent because there is fresh air, there is clean water, and there are sweet acoustics. Cue the music, cue the dancing, cue the party time. So the trolls are safe for right now, and they're safe for a long time because fast forward, what is it, like 20 years later, Princess Poppy has gone from being a little tiny little pink baby troll to an all grown up troll. And she decides that it is a great idea to celebrate the anniversary of getting away from the Bergens by throwing the most epic, biggest party of all time. It is full of invitations. There's a sweet dance number, song thing where she's passing out invitations to everyone. Everyone is getting an invitation, even Branch, who is the smartest of the trolls because he says, hey, you know what? Those Bergens right over there, probably not the best idea to have the biggest party of all time.
Oh, but the trolls think that he is just a wet blanket. They make
He's
fun of
stuck in the
him
mud.
all the time. That's right. I mean, to be fair, he goes into every wedding. It's got this montage of times where he's running and been like, the Bergens are coming. Ah! And he like throws over the wedding cake. He throws over the birthday cake. He throws over someone's coffin at a funeral. I mean, he takes it a bit far, but you know, he is smart. He's not wrong. Maybe throwing a giant party with glitter, like uh fireworks
Fireworks, yeah.
up into the air and basically show a giant Princess Poppy cutout. You know, maybe that's not the thing you want to do, because even though it's been 20 years, the Bergens are well, this one particular Bergen, the chef, is still looking for all of the trolls. And you know what? She finds them because of all of this ruckus that they're making in the middle of the forest.
In the middle of Troll Town Central there. That's right. Yeah, the chef has one way to get back in the king's good graces, and that is to find these trolls so they can get back to having Trollstice. Because you know, Prince Gristle needs to have his troll. He needs to have his one day of happiness. So yeah, she is on the hunt for the trolls. She hears something off in the distance. She pulls out her little binoculars. She is looking. She sees the world's most gigantic firework going off, which is pretty much a dead giveaway that the trolls are there having a party. So what does she do? She goes into the woods. She finds the trolls. She has this sweet fanny pack, and she starts picking off these trolls one by one until there's very few trolls left. But amongst the ones that are left behind are, of course, Princess Poppy and the curmudgeonly Branch.
Yeah. Well, Branch doesn't even know that the chef is and her, you know, band of people have come and stolen all of, you know, this handful of trolls, because Branch is living like 6 feet underground in a bunker that he made himself with you know, 350 mouse traps around him and like, you know, water dilators or diverters to be able to drink his own sweat. He's got this whole plan in place where he's like, I can live underneath the ground for 10 years, 11 if I drink my own sweat, and I'm totally going to do it. And so Poppy goes to him, and, you know, it's actually a really interesting scene because he's there, he's in his little bunker by himself, and he has got her invitation that, of course, is covered in glitter, and it's like, celebrate freedom from the Bergens. And he's listening to it over and over. So, and at first, you think it's because he's sad that he actually wants to go to these parties. And that's not the case at all. Because then he opens up this little drawer and he sees all of the invitations that Poppy has ever made. And and it's really not all the people that he's going to miss and the fact that he didn't go to this party and he wanted to. It's the fact that I think he has a little crush on Princess Poppy. And so he's hiding all of that because she's ringing his doorbell. He opens the door. Well, he doesn't open the door. He's got like this trap door underneath her, and he opens like the slide where you only see his eyeballs, and he's like, I'm not going to the party. And she's like, no, the party's over because the Bergen came. And he's like, well, duh. Like, he's not shocked by this at all.
Yeah, he's like, I totally could have told you that would happen and did tell you that was going to happen. And so, yeah, joke's on you. I am safe down here in my bunker. But what does Princess Poppy do? She takes all of the trolls that are left. She sticks them in the bunker with Branch, and she says, okay, well, you can stay with all of these people. Princess Poppy, I don't know. She is just giving it to Branch left, right, and center as he's just trying his best to not get captured by the Bergens. Don't love that for you, Branch. Sorry about that, guy. But what is he going to do? He's not going to hang out in there with all the trolls. He doesn't want to give a hug every half hour. No, what he wants to do is he wants to get out of there. And the only way to do that is to accompany Poppy on this whirlwind adventure to go get the rest of the trolls back from captured by the Bergens.
That's right. Now, a couple things happen. There's a couple of really fun musical numbers that happen on the way to Bergen Town. First one is Poppy by herself because, of course, she asks King Peppy if anybody will go with her. because she believes that she can go save her friends. And of course, King Peppy is like, I'm a different person than I was 20 years ago when I saved all these folks. Like, I'm fatter, I'm lazier, like, I'm
I'm
not the same
old.
leader.
Yeah.
Like, you're on your own, Princess Poppy, but be careful. And I love you. And she's like, yeah, got it. So she ends up going on her own at first because, of course, she's leaving Branch down with the 300 other trolls that are ruining his life. So she does this great number. It's one of my favorites where she's singing about how she's not going to give up. You know, she's going to get back. She's going to get back up again every time she gets knocked down. And she's going through these really scary like things that are happening in the forest,
Hmm.
like a ton of things that can kill her. And like, there's this one really neat montage of like a insect getting eaten by this frog looking thing that gets, you know, eaten again by something else that's bigger, ends up getting like exploded, and then having something else come up and like vacuum up all of the ashes of this other thing. And so she's like, oh my gosh, it's so much more dangerous than I thought it was going to be. But she
Yeah.
keeps going. She ends up getting stuck though with these really creepy looking spiders.
Mm-hmm.
And they wrap her up and they give her some sort of, I don't know if they bite her, but they give her some sort of poison, so she's gets knocked out, and she ends up looking like she's wrapped in a cotton ball.
I would say, yeah, she's just completely wrapped up in these spider webs. And yeah, that probably is my favorite song in the movie, and my favorite kind of song section. To be honest, I think that one was really well done. And yeah, as it's kind of going through like the different I don't I don't different terra firma of the trolls world as she's going through and trying to
Right.
get out there. Yeah, she ends up with these spiders which are super creepy looking. But luckily Branch has decided he needs to catch up with her and help her on her quest. So what does he like throws something, hits the spider in the eyeball, and the spider retreats into this like gigantic spider, which just kind of looks at Branch and then goes away. You think it might be lights out for Branch, but he gets away with one there, and he gets Poppy out of the spider web. And what are they going to do? They are going to make their way into Bergen Town. They are going to Bergen Town because the rescue is on. Got to get these trolls back, especially one troll in particular, Creek, voiced by Russell Brand. Creek is the
Creek.
bee's knees, says
That's right.
Poppy. Is he really, though? Is he really?
Mm. You know, looking back on this, I don't think she thinks he's the bee's knees, but he's very into her like wheelhouse, right? Because she's all about singing and dancing and being positive and thinking about all the things that could go right instead of all the things that could go wrong, which seems to be the way Branch is. And Creek is like, namaste, like he can float himself. He, you know, he's got these other bugs that like will pick him up and fly him around. Nobody else does
Mm.
that. And of course, he like kisses them and he's like, oh, thank you for your safe passageway. And he's like, let's try to be positive, eh? And the annoying way that only Russell Brand can do it, where you love the accent and it's still annoying at the same time. But
Mm.
yeah, Creek is one of the first ones that are taken. She's got this giant smorgasbord of photos and scrapbookings that she's made for every single person that it was taken, and so she lays them out by her bed. I love this because Branch has come to save her. He's not happy. He does not want to have any sort of hug time, and she really feels the need to break into song. And so
Mm.
she and the
Hmm. Hmm.
forest comes alive with some Simon and Garfunkel, and they start singing, and that one of the crazy spiders starts talking to him and is like, hello. And it's really very beautifully done. The animation in this particular part is one of my favorites because the
Yeah.
forest kind of comes alive and then fades away just in time for Branch to take her guitar and throw it into the fire.
Yeah, it's pretty funny because she starts off, I don't know, two or three different songs, and then he just says that he wants some silence. So of course she is going to start singing the Sound of Silence by Simon and Garfunkel, and it goes through this whole thing and ends with Branch throwing the guitar into the fire, which is I'm not condoning throwing guitars in the fire, but maybe I would have thrown Poppy's guitar into the fire. So I can't blame Branch for that one. But Branch has an idea. He says, we're going to get into Bergen Town. Here is my plan. It's really pretty funny because he's like, are you scrapbooking my plan? Because she totally is scrapbooking making his plan. As we see the same kind of felt scrapbook that we saw at the beginning, is they're going through and making this little montage of what's going to happen that you see in a lot of like actiony adventure movies where they're laying out the plan of actions. They're going to get into Bergen town. They make it in there, and they meet up with someone else. This Bergen, by the name of Bridget, she is like the maid, kind of housekeeper, put upon Bergen. She is there, and we find something out very special about Bridget, and is that Bridget has a wee bit of a crush on Prince Gristle, now King Gristle. Prince Gristle
Oh,
has
now
ascended the
King
throne.
Russell. Yeah, it's 20 years later. Chef is really excited because Chef has shown up and been like, I have the ability to give you happiness, and you're going to be able to eat a troll for the first time ever. And she hands him like this bib that he had when he was 1 year old, and he tries to put it on. And of course, we do need to talk about the body shapes of the Bergens, because they are
Mm.
my people. They look just like me, which means they have tiny little legs, tiny little arms, and big bellies. And it's so cute and gross at the same time because they're like green and they've got weird teeth,
Yeah,
but they're
they're they're very round people. You could say, they're kind of shaped like kidney beans with little arms and legs.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's just like me. I love it. And of
And
course,
yeah, and they need to eat trolls to be happy.
they need to
Which
eat
I
trolls to be
guess
happy.
if you're a little kidney bean person with like a monster face, then maybe you do need to eat a troll. But
That's
um
true.
but but yeah, I don't know. So we meet back up with these characters. We find out that Bridget is in love with the king. And the king, of course, can't be happy. His dad was like, no, you're gonna no, you can never be happy now. You haven't had a troll. But the chef is like, here's some trolls. Eat one of these. You can be happy now. But the king has bigger plans. He's like, should I really just do this on my own? I should really like try to bring Trollstice back, or I should do it in front of the whole kingdom to let all of the Bergen know. I mean, eating trolls for your people's happiness. I don't know if I can get on board with that plan. But if you're going to be king and that's the route that you're going to go down, you should at least, yeah, share that with your people.
That's
Let
right.
the happiness flow through your kingdom. So I guess good on you for that, King Gristle Jr.
That's right. Yeah, he's a loving king. He wants everyone to engage in the troll cannibalism that is about to happen. The problem is that Chef only got like a handful of them, right? There's like seven,
Mm-hmm. One
and
fanny
so
pack's worth of trolls.
that's right. And so she has to come up with a plan, and that's where we come to see Creek again, right? Because Creek is one of the most beloved characters of the group. They're like, what are we going to do? And he's the most positive of the ones that have been taken. And we see him though, we see that he's going to be eaten, and Poppy is really upset. And of course Branch is like, dude, it's over, like you cannot save him, he is definitely going to die. There are trolls, he went into the guy's mouth, he's not coming out of the guy's mouth again. And she refuses to believe it. And they end up meeting up with Bridget again. And Bridget, they realize that, Bridget's in love with King Gristle, and she would really like to get to know him a little bit better, but she's just a scullery maid and she's nothing special. And she sings
Hmm.
this
Hmm.
beautiful, like, Zoe Deschanel has a really lovely voice. And so she has this
Hmm.
very
Hmm.
velvety version of Hello by Lionel Richie. And it's very sweet and very beautiful. But the trolls have a plan to get Bridget noticeable by the king, and that is to give her new hair, to put on some new clothes, like a big pink jumpsuit and some platform shoes, and to feed her some lines. And of course, the trolls all get together and make their hair her hair. So she's got this really great 70s rainbow coif going on.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
And she looks amazing. And of course, they give her a name. They try to give her a name. They call her Lady Glitter Sparkles. Seriously.
Yes. That's right. Yeah, Lady Glitter Sparkles to the rescue. Yeah, one of the things about the trolls is that their hair is sort of like this kind of like animate object that they can control. So yeah, they use their hair to give her hair. She is very glittery. She is very well put together, and they are going on a date. They introduce she introduces herself to King Gristle Jr. King Gristle definitely doesn't know that it's Bridget. He only knows that it is Lady Glitter Sparkles, and they are off on a date. They go like roller skating. They go to like this pizza pizza place. I have to say, this animated pizza looked pretty delicious. I will say, but the date is going great. And it's going great for the trolls too, right? They found out where the trolls were. They can get their buddies out of there. They can get away from the Bergen. That's good, but it's not good because Bridget's like, no, I'm Lady Glitter Sparkles now. You can't leave me. I want to get with the king, but I can't do that without your help. So you're not going to go rescue your trolls. You're going to stay here and help me. It's time for me to be
That's right.
selfish, Poppy. You're gonna stand here and just deal with me.
Yeah, you're gonna be my hair for the rest of my life because I mean, it is pretty great hair though. I mean, I will
It's pretty
say.
good. It's pretty good. Mhm.
Yeah, so it's a real problem. They realize too, so they're like, we're gonna make a run for it no matter what. And it is at that point that Poppy and Branch get captured by the chef
Mm.
again, and then the chef is like, "Haha, I've got you all." And she's like, "Oh no, it's gonna be fine." And then she's horrified when she realizes that Creek, who she thought had died, and then she was really hopeful when she realized he hadn't died. He had actually cut a deal with the chef
Sold them
herself,
out. Sold them
sold them
out.
out. It was horrible. And steals Poppy's cowbell because, of course, Poppy has cowbell in her hair. And,
Hmm, hmm.
that is her calling card to get all the trolls and let them know that they're safe. And so, of course, Chef and Creek go out into the forest and use the cowbell, and the rest of the trolls come out of their 6 foot under bunker, and Chef captures all of them and puts them all in a giant pot intended to be served for the big first Trollstice feast in like 20 years. And it's very
Mm.
sad. Poppy is just completely distraught, and the first time she's ever sarcastic in the whole film, everybody starts losing their mind because she is not filled with sunshine and rainbows.
She she is not. Yeah, it has finally come to dawn on her that all of these decisions have not been good. And Branch, to his credit, doesn't say, "See, I told you, Princess Poppy. You listen to Branch next time." What does he do instead? He starts singing to cheer her up. Branch is not one for singing. Justin Timberlake is one for singing though, so he does. He sings True Colors. It is very lovely, and that turns Poppy around. It gives her the hope and the joy of being a troll again. And they're going to have to take that magical happiness, goodness, if they're going to get out of this situation, because times are dire, and they're going to need the help of Bridget. Lady Glitter Sparkles, she's yesterday's news. The trolls need to get Bridget on board with that. Bridget is good enough for the king.
Yeah, yeah. So they start their descent or ascent over to the big feast area. They're all still in the pot, and of course, Bridget decides, she releases them while the chef isn't looking. And Poppy is really worried about this because she knows that, the last time that this happened, they took the chef out and banned her for life. It'll only be worse this time, and it'll be Bridget who actually is really kind, and Bridget just will not allow them to get into any more trouble, and she makes them escape, and she sacrifices herself. And it's really quite beautiful because they say goodbye and then they say goodbye again, and it's just very heartfelt because Bridget really is very sweet in this, and you really feel for her because she just loves King Gristle and she just wanted him to notice her. And who hasn't been there when they like someone and they're like, I just wanted you to notice me and think I was great. So the trolls
Hmm,
end up
hmm, hmm.
they go back and regroup, but they end up coming back on a roller skate, and
Hmm.
they come back to a claim. Lady Glitter Sparkles is kind of revealed to be Bridget, and of course King Gristle is confused. He's like, I don't understand. And she's like, well, hello, is it me you're looking for? I don't think so. And he's like, no, but I like you. I do like you. And so this is when Poppy, the idea has been festering in her mind a little bit because she'd seen the connection that they had while they
Hmm,
were at
hmm.
the roller rink arcade. And she's like, hey, you can be happy and you don't even need to eat. You don't need to commit cannibalism to do it. You just need to love each other. And then, of
Yeah.
course, everyone, at the feast table is like, I want to be happy. I want to be happy. I want to be happy. And of course, they're all looking at the chef, and the chef is like, no, there's only one way to be happy, and it's to eat the trolls. And it
Yeah.
once again doesn't go well for the chef.
It,
Chef is
it It does not. Yeah, the chef is always kind of behind the times on these things. And yeah, the trolls' message of positivity and happiness has spread like a wildfire through the Bergen people. They've all decided that they can just be happy, just being themselves. Just you don't have to be Lady Glitter Sparkles. You just be yourself, Bridget, and King Gristle Jr. You all just be yourselves and be happy. You'd stop eating trolls. That's the moral of the story. And like you said, chef. Bad news for the chef, bad news for Creek, because they get put on like this flaming cart and sent out into the woods where they meet a very untimely end, which I guess is a good moral of the story. Just don't eat people to make yourself happy,
Don't eat people
and
because
don't sell out your
food is not
friends,
going to make you
Creek.
happy. Don't sell out your friends, Creek, you positivity meanie head.
Yeah.
Um, yes. So
I do. On a side note, kind of like the little montage where Creek is talking about betraying them, and he's like, "I was looking at all the ways I could not die, and this was the way."
this was the one that seemed most realistic. So that's the way I went. And yes, please don't judge me. Yeah, I mean there's a couple of other things in here that I loved. I loved the part where we finally understand a little bit more about Branch and why he's so
Hmm.
negative, why he's not negative, but why he's so realistic about the way the world works and hesitant about the Bergens because he had to deal with this in a very personal way because a Bergen ended up eating his grandmother
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
ate his grandmother because he himself, as a little baby troll, was out in the forest singing, and his voice was beautiful and it was really loud, and he was
Hmm.
so happy he didn't even notice. And a Bergen came to eat him, and his grandma got in the way and pushed him to safety. And so Branch is got probably some PTSD from that, maybe. And
Yeah.
it is interesting because you don't see for this community who's probably gets eaten. A lot of the trolls get eaten every year. They're not
Hmm.
filled with the same fear. The Poppy is really very sweet and super happy, and even when she's trying to explain to the kids that the Bergens are going to get them, they're like, do they still want to eat us? She's like, you betcha. and, and
Yeah, she's a little naive on the plan, and yeah, kind of throughout this whole thing, right? That's a big part of it is that she is looking uh looking at Branch and is like, why are you not happy? Why are you not singing? Why don't you want to give any hugs? And he's always just kind of pushing back at her, and eventually kind of reaches his breaking point. And he's like, singing killed my grandma, and then yeah, you find out that's what happened. So yeah, definitely some PTSD. I feel like the trolls maybe are kind of glossing over some of their own struggles with their singing and happiness, but that could just be me. I'm not sure.
maybe. Uh, but all's well that ends well. Of course, at the end, Poppy is finally made queen of the trolls because she's the only leader that in the last 20 years that's done anything. So they finally reward her with the actual position that she's probably been doing herself for a long time. And
Mm-hmm, hmm.
she's very excited about that. And the first thing she does is she makes every day, or every time, hug time, right?
Yeah, yeah.
All the
Just
time.
just
Hug
just
time is
hug
now all the
just hug
time.
whenever. Instead of hugging every hour, you can hug whenever you want to. Which is actually is pretty cute when she's teaching the kids at the beginning, and the one little troll kid's like, "Can't we every hour? Can't we hug more?" And she's like, "I wish we could hug more too, but we have to sing and dance." So,
Right. But yeah, so she and Branch share a friendly hug. He's, kind of disclosed his feelings through song, and he's now a different color because, you know, one of the things that I really loved about this is he's kind of grayed out. Like he's got color to him through most of the film, but it's muted. It's not as
mhm,
bright and certainly not as cheerful as all of the others. I mean, there are ones that are literally just covered in glitter. There are trolls that are got all sorts of amazing color to them, right?
mhm,
He is very grayed out, and you don't realize until they're in that pot ready to meet their doom when Poppy kind of starts to go gray, that's what it was, is that because he lost his grandmother and he's so sad and all of the stuff that brings, that he's really muted himself from living a full life. And so when she makes those choices, she's grayed out, and then everybody sees that she's gray and they become gray too. And it just really was a very visual way of showing how your attitudes and the love and or the lack of love and the whatever it is that you're giving into the universe, it's going to be absorbed by other people. And so
Hmm.
when, you know, when Branch sings to her and he finally, finishes singing True Colors, they touch and she lights up again, and then he lights up again, and now he's like this really beautiful like aqua blue color, and his eyes are all blue, and it's really nice, and I just love it. I love that part.
Yeah, it's pretty good, and it's a pretty fun story. And that's kind of how it ends. As we mentioned, this was done by DreamWorks. It is really very nice looking. It's very colorful. It's very bright. Kind of the scenery and the locations are all very vibrant, and that's kind of one of the big things. Is this was very highly touted as kind of this musical sort of thing. They had all of this cast that could sing. We mentioned Russell Brand and obviously Anna Kendrick and Justin Timberlake, but it also included James Corden, Zoe Deschanel, obviously. Um, Gwen Stefani did one of the voices, so is kind of this big like musical thing, and as you sort of had kind of this little bit of story, and then kind of like this music video esque sort of thing that propelled the story kind of on as you went, and then obviously this spawned some sequel stuff too, right? So you had Trolls World Tour, I think was the title of that, which just came out a couple years back, and this also spawned two like live like concert touring things. So two live shows there. There were two like animated like TV series that this spawned. And Michaela, this is going to be exciting news for you. There is a Trolls holiday special coming your way to Netflix, I think, on November the 26th.
Woohoo! I'm so excited. I am so excited about that. I love the Trolls. I mean, I don't remember, this was a big deal. They had a Trolls show when in the 80s, I want to say. And that's where we got all the wooden looking trolls with the weird hair.
Yeah, so obviously Trolls is based off of the Troll doll, right? So and those came out they're from Denmark. They came out in 1959, and Trolls were kind of I don't know, kind of just this thing that existed in culture. And I particularly remember, Michaela, I want to say maybe like 5th or 6th grade ish. So I don't know, somewhere like 10, 12 years old, but Trolls seemed to have like this big resurgence. I don't know if that like tied into like the Beanie Baby craze, if this was like another kind of like little like collectible like toy kind of craze that coincided with it. But yeah, in the 90s there was like the Trolls video game. There was another like Trolls cartoon, which was more of kind of like the troll like doll look as they were going through. They weren't kind of these more like stylized ones that we see here in the DreamWorks film. But yeah, Trolls has been like part of the the I don't know, the world cultural heritage now
Yeah.
for a super long time. And then DreamWorks bought the property in 2013 with the intention of making films and doing all this stuff, and obviously they did, and Trolls made a lot of money.
It did make a lot of money. And I'm actually kind of surprised. Maybe it's because it was so highly computer animated. I'm surprised that it wasn't given a nomination for animated feature.
Hmm.
Going back and looking, there were a bunch of really hard sells that year. I mean, Moana came out, which was amazing. Zootopia came out and ended up winning. Kubo and the Two Strings, which was really beautiful. My Life as a Zucchini and The Red Turtle, those were the ones that were nominated instead.
Hmm.
So it's kind of a tough call because all of those are all really good too. But I am a little surprised because the richness and the color and the way the hair looks, and when their hair takes on the properties of other things, just the way in
Hmm.
which that's animated and the texture that it created, I thought was really beautiful. So I'm glad that they did it. I'm glad they made it. I mean, it's not a super esoteric story. I mean, it's for kids, but I find that even though as a parent I watch this a lot, it's got some good life lessons there for everybody, right?
Yeah, that's right. It
Maybe,
definitely has
possibly.
definitely has some good life lessons, and yeah, I really like the way kind of that it's animated and the way that they're interacting with the environment and things like that. And actually, I had never watched this until just this past week when I was watching it to get ready for this. Kind of watching through that first section, I was like, oh, this is actually it's pretty intelligent, it's pretty clever the way they're doing on it. If I had one kind of complaint, is that they kind of relied on the same gags throughout the course of the thing. It's kind of like a rinse and repeat kind of a thing. So
Mhm.
by the end of it, I was like, I I feel like maybe a little bit more creativity could have come in, but the story's great. The singing obviously is great. Anna Kendrick and Justin Timberlake are really excellent, of course. So yeah, it's a lot of fun, especially probably if you have kids. You have a lot worse things you could throw on and have
Right.
to listen through a bunch of times.
That's true. That is definitely true. And of course, it ends with some amazing Justin Timberlake song, dancing, right? And then
Mm-hmm.
September, which is Earth, Wind, and Fire's best song. It's arguably their best song, one of the best songs of all time. It's one of my favorite songs to dance to. It's so good. And so that makes me real happy. So it's a giant party at the end. And that's how it should be
It
in
is.
life, right?
That's right. You can finally have a party now that the Bergens are not going to come and eat you, which it was what Branch was trying to tell everyone the whole time. So with that in mind, Michaela, I don't know. I think that kind of wraps it up for Trolls. It's a fun story. It's a good time. So go out and check it out. You're going to have to pay to rent this because it's not available to stream anywhere. Although word on the street is that it's going to be coming back to probably Netflix, I guess, to coincide with that holiday special. Maybe as we get closer to Christmas here. So let us know at home if you have watched Trolls or any of the Trolls sequel. Let us know definitely and send us pictures if you went to the Trolls live show because I want to see pictures of that because that sounds awesome. Do that. And let us know what you thought about Trolls. Let us know if you had a troll doll, what your favorite color of troll is, and let us know if you make a troll cocktail shot because those were really fun and really cute looking. So do that. Send us pictures. Let us know what you think, or let us know ways we could have changed ours up to play off those flavors a little bit more instead of just the sugar. So let us know all that. And you can do that on our Twitter and Instagram. It's at Drink the Movies, and on Facebook.com/Drink the Movies. And if you want to see the pictures of the ones that we made, episode recaps, all of that good stuff, you can do that on our website, which is www.drinkthemovies. And once you go there and check all that stuff out, we would appreciate it if you went by your favorite podcast player and left us a review. Michaela, where can they do that?
You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Good Pods, anywhere where Anchor podcasts are distributed. We do 2 drops a week here at Drink the Movies. We have some big stuff coming up. It's
Mm-hmm.
top secret and I can't really talk about it yet, but it's big. So you're definitely going to want to subscribe. And if you can, leave us a 5-star review. We're doing super amazing in bringing this community together. And it's when I say we, I really mean y'all because you guys are the ones that do it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So please, tell your friends if you're loving it. We are so knocked out by the community that we're bringing together with cocktails and movies alike. So
That's right. Yeah, absolutely. So we appreciate everyone who has joined us on this Drink the Movies journey, and we appreciate any feedback. And like I said, those 5-star reviews do definitely help us out, get us moved up the charts, and get us into the ears of more people, so we can keep going and keep bringing all this movie and cocktail goodness to everyone. But with that in mind, Michaela, I don't know, I am sung out, I am danced out. I need to recharge, and I would eat a troll, like a Bergen if I was a Bergen, but I'm not. I'm Brian, and I would like to drink a troll. So why don't you grab the cake vodka, whipped cream vodka, and let's give it another round. We'll try it again.
it's either that or like 15 hug times. One of the two. I
That's
got you
right.
covered.
Uh,
I'll make the cocktail. It's fine.
okay, perfect. Well, you mix up that cocktail. I'm going to go fire up Pitch Perfect because that sounds like something good to talk about next week, and we will talk to everyone next time on
Drink
Drink
the
the
movies.
Movies.
Hey, I'm not giving up today because nothing's getting in my way. And if you knock me over, I will get back up again.
Sing and kill my grandma.
Oh.